If you were a fan of the original Warcraft 3, brace yourself because Blizzard's remaster, Warcraft III Reforged, has been quite the controversial release. Some players were ecstatic to relive their beloved RTS experience with a fresh coat of paint, while others felt a sting of disappointment. Today, we're going to dive into what worked, what didn't, and whether or not this version is worth your time and gold. Warcraft 3, originally released in 2002, wasn't just another real-time strategy game. It was the game that redefined the genre, introducing rich story campaigns and setting the foundation for what would later become World of Warcraft. Warcraft III Reforged promised to take that experience, polish it, and deliver it to both nostalgic fans and new players. Let's be honest, expectations were sky-high. Blizzard promised revamped visuals, reworked cinematics, and more. Some of that promise was delivered, but let's talk about where things didn't quite hit the mark. First up, let's talk about the visuals. On paper, the graphical upgrade is substantial. Units are more detailed, environments are better textured, and there are noticeable improvements in lighting. It's almost like stepping into an alternate version of Azeroth where everything's crisper and more vibrant. However, for many players, the upgrade wasn't enough to justify Blizzard's hype. For a game that advertised itself as a complete reimagining, the updated graphics look more like a slightly tuned-up version than a proper overhaul. Don't get me wrong, it's still an improvement over the original, but it just doesn't feel like a huge leap into modern gaming standards. Then there's the cutscenes. During the reveal, Blizzard showcased an epic recreation of the original Warcraft III cinematics that made everyone's jaws drop. The reality? Not so much. What we got instead was a lot closer to the original cutscenes, just touched up a bit. They still hold their charm, but when you're expecting something closer to Blizzard's modern cinematic style, it feels like a bit of a letdown. Of course, we have to address the gameplay. This is one area that remained mostly true to form, which is both a blessing and a curse. The core mechanics of Warcraft 3 are still as fun as ever. The RTS gameplay is solid, managing units, building bases, strategizing attacks. It's classic, timeless fun. The campaign stories are rich and compelling, especially if you're a fan of Warcraft lore. But for anyone who's played a lot of newer RTS games, you'll notice that the controls and some of the game mechanics feel a little outdated. There's a distinct old-school charm, but sometimes charm isn't enough to smooth over the occasional clunky interface and older pathfinding issues that were never addressed. Multiplayer is another area where things get dicey. The original Warcraft 3 had an active community of mapmakers and modders who made custom games that kept the title alive well beyond its original release. Reforged promised to bring this aspect of the game back to life. But upon release, many players were surprised to find that features like leaderboards and clans were absent, even though these were present in the original. Blizzard has patched some of these issues, but the experience still doesn't feel as seamless or community-driven as it did back in the day. Add to that the infamous Terms of Service update that essentially gave Blizzard ownership of any custom game created, a move that didn't sit well with many longtime fans. The updated user interface is an aspect that's received mixed reviews. It's clear that Blizzard attempted to modernize it, but some players have pointed out that the new UI is less intuitive, especially in multiplayer lobbies. It feels like a step backward compared to the clean, simple interface of the original game. Blizzard has recently released the 2.0 update for Warcraft III Reforged, which aims to address some of the shortcomings. This update introduces the Classic HD Addon System, allowing players to switch between high-definition and original graphics, offering a customizable visual experience. The user interface has also been overhauled with a new Frozen Throne theme, and additional options like APM, FPS, and timer displays have been added. The save, load functionality for online games has returned, which is a welcome addition for many players. The 2.0 update also includes balance changes across all races and updates to the map pool for various game modes, bringing new battlegrounds and removing less popular ones. So, what's the verdict on Reforged? Honestly, if you're someone who played the original Warcraft 3 and loved it, Reforged might be a fun nostalgia trip. You'll get to revisit familiar campaigns, command Arthas as he descends into madness, and experience all the iconic moments in slightly prettier graphics. Just don't go in expecting a modern reinvention. It's more of a touch-up, a tribute to the past, rather than something that stands up to modern AAA remakes. For those new to Warcraft 3, the story and gameplay are still worthwhile, but you'll need to be patient with some of the older quirks that come along with a game from this era. The pacing, the mission variety, and the sense of accomplishment as you progress through the campaign are all still here. But Reforged doesn't do quite enough to eliminate the frustration that can come from outdated design choices. On the plus side, Warcraft III Reforged has made it easier to access the game on modern systems, and for those who never had the chance to play it the first time around, this version still offers an opportunity to experience one of the most iconic RTS games of all time. It's just that, given the way it was marketed, many expected a lot more. Blizzard's missteps with communication and unmet promises have tarnished what could have been a triumphant return. Overall, Warcraft III Reforged sits in a strange place. It's an ambitious attempt to bring a beloved classic to a new audience, but it falls short in many areas that matter most to longtime fans. If you're all about reliving old memories, or if you're completely new to the series, there's still a lot of fun to be had here. Just keep in mind that the game feels like it's leaning on the strength of the original story and mechanics, rather than delivering something groundbreaking in 2024. After weighing everything, the ups, the downs, and the missed opportunities, I'd give Warcraft III Reforged a 6.5 out of 10. It's fun, but it's impossible to ignore what could have been. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more game reviews, and leave a comment down below. Did you play Reforged, and what were your thoughts? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.